I feel pretty positive about what the millage would allow us to do if we are able to have it passed by the voters. The technology portion is made up of the purchase and installation of interactive projectors in classrooms. So we would have whiteboards, smart boards in every classroom, student devices, teacher devices.
What would happen in your classroom if we had tablets and interactive projectors?
It would give me the opportunity to have more interactive lessons with my students instead of them just constantly getting pieces of papers thrown at them. We could do interactive lessons that didn't involve the process of plugging in 4 different things to the projector, and it would just make everything a lot smoother and give students a chance for more interactive things.
What would happen in your classroom if we had tablets and interactive projectors?
There are multiple apps for like the iPad and the tablet that I've showed different students that, as far as calculators, that are really a lot easier to use than other ones. I think that would be really amazing to have the kids that have that one-to-one technology to be able to always have that ready.
Yeah, for sure.
If we had tablets and interactive projector, it would allow for more movement in the classroom. Because I would be able to move around more, students would be able to move around more, and I think it would make it a more engaging classroom. The idea is we could make more content available to them, and the challenge for the teachers then is to try and get a lot of exciting, engaging content and make it available to students.
Do you think students need new computers, or can we make the older computers work for a few more years?
I don't think we'll be able to make them last due to new testing standards that are coming out and due to the decline and discontinuation of the current operating system that is running on these computers. As of April 8th of 2014, the software that is running on these current computers is no longer going to be supported.
Why should we spend money on new computers? What would you do with new computers?
I think that we should get new computers because all of ours are pretty outdated. We don't have enough, so people can't do all their work together. And if we had enough computers to take home for everyone, then we can all get our homework done and have available resources to use.
Why do students need to use computers in school?
Well, more and more of our textbooks are online, so we need computers to read for classes and online testing.
How often do you personally use your computer for schoolwork?
Almost every day, I think. I have textbooks online that I have to read, and most of my tests and everything are online. For most of my classes, I think computers are needed and are a necessity.
What kind of work do you do on computers that couldn't be completed any other way?
Well, you have PowerPoints for presentations that you need to do for class. Microsoft Word helps me with writing essays, so it's saved and it's always there on the computer.
The millage would allow the purchase and installation of a new phone system, which is 911 compliant. Our current phone system is not, and it's over, I believe, 15 years old. Our wired network switches, which is what allow us to have our internet and have fast internet that can support a lot of students online at one time. Those are among some of the oldest in the area, and so we've been advised by our ISD tech support that we should look at getting those updated as well.
Well, every 5 years, computers always need replacing as new technology comes out and they fall behind. In order to keep up with the new standards, you've got to replace the equipment that can handle the new technology.
That's the technology portion of the millage. And then the bus portion, we've had about a 4-year cycle where we've replaced buses. The last one was in 2010, and the district bought 2 buses. That was before I started. So that millage is expiring this May.
How would this improve our school?
Well, right now we have in the last 4 years acquired some classroom projectors, document cameras, the netbooks through the BTOP grant through the ISD, some iPads for the K2 classrooms, and some tablet computers. And all of those have come from either grants, donations, or some kind of cooperative purchasing that allow us to get things at a lower rate.
What app were you just using on your iPad? Accelerated Reader. Then Accelerated Reader allows the students, after they're done with their questions, it scores their test and suggests books that are within their reading level for them to read next. It's a really neat app, and we would love to be able to do it more. The handheld iPads within their classrooms, the kids, they read a book, they can run over, grab an iPad, take the test, and assess themselves automatically. And it's helping us allow the students to guide their own learning and guide their own education, which is where we as a school would love to go, and it allows them to be able to have more of an individualized approach to their educational experience. Again, that app we're using is Accelerator Reader. Right now we have 20 iPads in the elementary, that's it. We'd love to see some more. We'd love to see where we had one-to-one computing so the kid could have that iPad right on their desk, or that one computer on that they had their own name to, and they would be able to, whenever they needed it, they didn't have to wait for another class to be done with it and to grab it. If you look around my room, and we're going to show you here in a few minutes, you look around my room and you'll see that right now we have some kids that are 3 deep on an iPad. We're not currently using the computers right now because I want them to be able to use the iPads. But in this computer lab, we only have 28 computers, excuse me. Not all of them are always fully functional. Sometimes we have some issues, they go down. And this class has 26 kids. So it gets tricky sometimes, even when we're on the computers. The grant would also, the millage would also allow us to have smart boards, and so smart boards are interactive and would allow students to be able to do interactive things with the classroom automatically, which is great for us.
I use my classroom projector for a number of things. I project PowerPoints that supplement lessons. I use it with my iPad as a projector and a document camera so that my students can see what I'm writing at the same time if it's not something I can put on the board. I use my classroom projector at least a couple times a week, and it's extremely helpful.
We use a projector pretty much every day, and we use it to show PowerPoint presentations, whether it's my PowerPoints or student created PowerPoints. We show film clips, we show things created on Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel. So, we use it to show information in different ways.
How do you use the classroom projector?
In Algebra 1 recently, we just watched a video on the quadratic formula, Pop Goes the Weasel video. We watched that and did a little singing in class. I also have a document camera connected to it, and I will show answers on there, show student work on there, have students come up and show different types of videos and stuff like that with the projector.
First problem we have is I don't have enough computers. There's only 28 computers in the lab, and there's one class that has roughly 34 or 35 students in it, so I don't have enough computers for each student in there, which means we have to use laptops that we purchased that another school had upgraded and gotten rid of theirs. We purchased some laptops. Those don't have enough chargers for them. They have to stay plugged in. The batteries don't work on them. So that's an issue. 3, we do have a classroom set of iPads, but there's only 20, and none of those classes only have 20 students. So we don't have that one-to-one computing even in the K1 or K3. And in 3-4, there's nothing. I mean, the only technology they get is when they're in that classroom for an hour. And the concern of mine is that when we go to these online testing formats, which is what's coming down the pipe, we won't be able to compete, and our kids are going to be behind, and it's not, their scores are going to be lower, and it's not that their scores are going to be lower because they don't know the information. Their scores are going to be lower because they're not familiar enough with the technology to be able to put out their answers.
Do you consider buying new computers with money?
Absolutely, 100%.
Our general fund doesn't allow us to set aside money for technology purchases every year. We run a very low fund balance, so it's like we have a very small savings account, and things that are currently in the budget have to be paid for year after year. Costs increase. We have to have some way to get technology for the students.
You need to be able to, as an individual in society, be able to use basic technology, and this is going to allow our students to do that and go even farther.
And so there's a lot that this millage could do, a lot that would be beneficial for the students, and just a lot of things that we really need to keep our school functioning.